Hey friends, Kevin here. I'm in the minivan. I just stopped for the night and it is cold despite what it may look like at the moment. Oh yeah. Now because I just stopped, it is 64 degrees in this van. However, it is 14 degrees outside and it's only going to get worse. It is going to hit about 8 degrees tonight, and it is windy, so the wind chill is going to take this down to about -2. So I just installed a diesel heater this week, and I've run it to test it for about 2 hours, but nothing like this, so I'm going to finally find out what all the fuss is about, and if these things will really keep this van toasty and warm through the night when it is both cold and windy. I've played with some diesel heaters that other people owned. I actually installed one once in a little workshop. This is my first time installing one in a van, and specifically a minivan. And for this installation, I went with this BudgetRV unit. I like these little one-piece units because you only have to deal with one exhaust pipe going outside. A lot of these units, you have to deal with 2 pipes going out. Makes it a little more complicated. So this unit saves a lot of parts, a lot of assembly, but we're still dealing with a minivan. Now, I'm going to have a video coming out soon showing you different ways to install this that involves both drilling and not drilling. Now, the way I have this exhausted right now is simply through the floor. This particular Dodge Chrysler minivan has the fold and go seats, which of course have been removed. So I do have all of that floor space. But the reason I did this is I wanted to leave all of this stuff attached, but still be able to take the heater disconnected and take it with me in case I ever did tent camping. I don't need to have this in here, you know, through the summer and mounted and wasting space, because in a minivan, we don't have much space. So the heater is tucked under the bed, still gives me room for my storage crates, still gives me room for my big battery system under the bed. So I'm really not losing any space except just flipping open that door to make the connection to run on out. And this particular Dodge Chrysler minivan, the exhaust runs down this side of the van anyway, right by this sliding door, the main exhaust for the engine. So it made perfect sense to just drill that hole, run that exhaust right next to the main exhaust pipe, and simply point it out right under this door, this window. So it is, the exhaust will be coming out from under the van, blowing out in that direction. So my bed is on this side of the van, and I have a rear window back here that I can crack to get fresh air, or if I need to kind of control the temperature. One of these reasons I went with this BudgetRV unit is that it is controllable. While it is a 5,000 kilowatt unit, you can dial that thing all the way down to 1,400. So generally these things are sold as 2,000, 5,000, or 8,000 kilowatt. And a lot of the 8s are really 5s, and they're just simply lying to people. Sad but true. But you really don't need an 8 in something this small. A 5 is probably really pushing it for something this small unless you're in extreme cold weather. So being able to dial this back down to actually a little bit less than the 2 kilowatt, one, it's going to save me fuel, and 2, hopefully it won't get so hot in here that it's running me out. And of course, in addition to a fire alarm, fire extinguisher, I also have a CO detector, because you can't be too safe when you're dealing with this stuff. Even though I think I have everything taped up really well, there's always a chance of something happening, always a chance of something coming loose, working loose when you have these exhaust pipes connected. So better safe than sorry. So it's just a little bit after dark. The high was 20 degrees today. It is down to 14. Now that I'm parked, I'm going to just let this thing cool on down a little bit more inside. Then I'm going to fire that heater up, do my normal nightly thing, and we're going to find out together how well this unit actually works. Okay, I've chilled out in here, watched some stuff online, watched a Christmas movie. It is a little bit after midnight. I've had this BudgetRV unit running on its lowest setting, no breath from the cold air, sitting in here in a short sleeve shirt, 72 degrees, with it down to 8 degrees outside, not counting the wind. And by the way, I do have the window on this side cracked, which would be right at my head while I'm sleeping. So I have absolutely no complaints about this Booge RV unit. This thing, even on that low speed, it is amazing what it is able to do inside of this minivan. And I have tried all types of other heat sources over the years. I have been out on nights like this and done tests, and I have basically been cold no matter what else I have done. Whether it's running a little buddy or a big buddy type propane heater, or trying to survive enough plugged in somewhere with a little electric ceramic heater, it's just I am always cold. And the downside to being cold, at least for me, I can pretty much handle it down to about 45 degrees. And anything past that, what ends up happening, no matter how covered I am, what kind of sleeping bag I'm using, how many blankets I'm using, what I have protected, even, you know, my face being out, is I will wake up cold about every hour or hour and a half for a few minutes. And then I can get myself situated and go back to sleep. And the problem with that is while I am getting sleep, I'm not getting any good sleep. So the next day, I just feel ragged out. And if I have to do that for several days in a row, and I have been in that situation, I'm just pretty much miserable. There's a difference between survivable and enjoyable. And in really low temps, while I've been able to survive in a minivan, in the larger van I had that had a furnace in it, I still couldn't control the temperature enough when it got this cold, even with that big van with the built-in furnace, to be able to get through the night without waking up and having issues. Going from 8 degrees, and wind is taking that pretty much down to 0, maybe -2. But going from 8 degrees to 72 or whatever in here at the moment, that is a 64-degree difference in a pretty much uninsulated stock minivan. And while I had thought about a diesel heater for the last couple of years, I've been around people that had them. I've helped with them. I actually installed one in a workshop for someone a couple of years ago, and that worked out okay. But man, it's just a lot of hassle with the exhaust ports on the bottom, and you're having to build things to hold the whole unit because the exhaust is on the bottom. And you have that separate fuel tank, and you've got to drill a hole in the fuel tank, and you've got to use a metal coat hanger to get the little thing down inside the tank and pulled out the other. There's just a lot of hassles to one of those. And then I started looking at these all-in-one units, and most of them weren't much better until this Booge RV unit. And I will tell you, this unit is more expensive than some of the other ones. But from what I've seen, I understand why. It just has higher quality parts. The remote is simple. The display is good. The Bluetooth works for quite a long distance, 30 or 40 feet away. The fuel pump is much higher quality. When you first get one of these and you prime it, you will hear that tick, but after it's ready to go, that tick will pretty much go away. And I have heard a faint tick a couple of times for a few seconds, but for the most part, this thing is dead quiet. All I have is the white noise from that warm air coming out. So I am very pleased with this, because I cannot stand a unit that's going tick, 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 tick all of the time. I'll be doing a full review of this Booge unit. I'll be doing a full review of exactly how I installed it in here, and I'm going to give you show a couple of different options, whether that's drilling through the floor, whether that's using something on the window to be able to vent it out that way for those that don't want to cut a hole in their minivan. I don't think you're going to be able to beat this Booge RV unit at any price. I think they just stepped this game up way, way, way past their competition. And real quick, before I get to what happened a few hours later, I need to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which are Ocmo batteries. These things have all kinds of protection built in, including low temperature protection, which is the important thing to me. They're easily able to power a 1500 watt inverter, along with running 12 volt fridges, running the diesel heater you see in this video, so you can check those out down in the description below. It's after midnight, I'm ready to crash, so we'll get through the night. I'll give you an update in the morning. I've been up and at it, freshened up, 72 degrees in here. We are up to a whopping 12 degrees outside, but hey, at least it's sunny. Rear vent window's still cracked, so the only time I would ever need to turn this up really is if I just was getting into a completely cold vehicle and needed to heat it up faster. But once it gets up to temp, it'll pretty much hold running on that lowest setting, which to me is more than I could have actually hoped for, better than I actually expected this thing to perform. So if you're new to this and you've been thinking about a diesel heater, or you're an old hand like me and you've just kept putting it off because maybe you didn't like what was out there, maybe because you heard all the problems that other people had out of their diesel heaters, I think I waited for the right one. I think I waited by the right one with this, and I don't think I'm going to have any major complaints, certainly on the way this thing performs. But if you have a diesel heater in your van, let me know your experiences, especially if you're in a minivan, of what you've been able to do to hold the temperatures and the lowest temperature that you've been out in and surviving with a diesel heater. Any questions you have, drop down in the comments and we'll talk soon.